Hi all, and welcome to this week's racing-based preview of the Doomben 10,000. Great Group 1 race coming up, and I've got Rick Chapman on the other line as usual to try and help me find the winner. So let's kick straight into this. Rick, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. We finally got some rain in Sydney today. First time in about 4 weeks. Seems like 4 years, but it's almost chilly, actually.
Well, none of that up in Queensland, mate. Doomben's going to be pretty dry. They've got sunny forecast there, so should be around a good 3 by the time we get around to the feature at race 7. What have you got picked out there for us, Rick?
Well, because it's going to be a fast track, I think that speed will dominate here. Now, that's with a caveat. If Fell Swoop, Dothraki go forward and Music Magnate go forward and try and run with this mare 2 Blue, then 2 things will occur. One is they will burn themselves out and finish with the cap catchers, and 2, it'll set itself up, the race up for Delectation and Ascadili to flash home. I don't think they'll do that. I think they will take into consideration that she's too fast early. They'll let her go and hope that she folds in the home stretch. Now, it's a funny thing, horse racing. If you let a natural-born speedster bowl along, it can get some cheap sectionals. And if they get cheap sectionals with this mare, she's in career best form. She's $26 on the tote. I'm on 2 Blue. I think the race will be run with her going to the lead, Paul King taking a sit mid-race, taking a hold rather mid-race, her getting some cheap sectionals. She pings off the point of the turn, gets 3 lengths on them. They all look fantastic chasing her down. She wilts the final 50 metres but hangs on to win by half a length from Delectation, who was a good thing beat last start. And Dothraki, who's as honest as the day is long, will flash up to get 3rd. And, you know, there'll be others right there too. I don't think there'll be too much in this finish, about 4 or 5 lengths from first to last. But I'm going for an upset. The old mare, 2 Blue, and Paul King will land his first Eastern Seaboard Group 1.
I think it will be an upset result, Rick, if that's the way it plays out, especially with the dry track.
Yep. From
22 starts on a good track. So a bit of sting out of the ground would have really increased her chances and reduced her odds. For that reason, I suppose I've got to look past her with just being that good track. Although she ran well on a good track last start, she just folded a bit after going so hard. You mentioned a couple others there, Rick. I think this is a tough race. Delectation, I'm not sure whether he gets the trip. He was in last year's Stradbroke handicap and over-raced a bit, but he got a beautiful rails run. Looked like he was going to challenge and really faded. He was the eye-catching run last start, that's for sure. He made up so many lengths in the straight and then had to be, he was checked and pulled up with 50 to go. Yeah, tough one. I'm going to go with Fell Swoop, Rick. And another one that I'm just not sure whether he's going to get the trip. It's his first try beyond 1200. So Sire's side, he gets the trip. Dam's side, his mother was an out-and-out sprinter. So that's the query for me. I'm just hoping Zach Burton can give him a nice soft run on the fence. And as you said, he doesn't try and go with 2 Blue. And, yep, I'll be on Fell Swoop.
Well, my query with him is the journey. If it's 1,100 metres, I'd be on him all day. But I just don't know whether with that weight he's going to be able to finish it off the last 100 metres. What's in his favour is he's drawn beautifully. So it was a little bit disappointing last start, Fell Swoop, to be quite honest.
Yeah, well, he was 3 wide without cover, Rick. He was the only horse that sat out there wide. I thought the effort was all right. I went back and watched the replay numerous times, and where he was, the jock tried to make a bit of a move on him, just realised they weren't going to get in. So as I said, he sat 3 wide without cover, drops back a little bit on the turn, Japanese loomed up, and he went with that horse who had a much softer run, favourite. So I think on the basis that he sat 3 wide for the trip last time, you'd think 1250 certainly isn't out of the question, but it's just whether he could get 1350. That's my only query. But having said that, not a single doubt. He's sired, I think, 9 stakes winners that have won it further than 1,400 metres. But the dam, I think his dam was Girls in Flight, Checked in Flight, something. She was a bit of a sprinter. So that's the only query for me. But I'm going to give him a chance and just hope he gets that soft run.
Excellent. Well, I like it when we differ. So we differed last week and the week before that in the big races, and so we do it again here.
And Dothraki would have to be a big threat. He looks primed for this. The Snowdens have a good record in the race recently, so he's another one you can't discount, surely.
No, he's very honest. As I said, I've got him in for third, so I think he'll be very hard to beat.
Rick, the Bjorn Baker trained Music Magnate, he jumps from barrier 7, and I know this is only a small thing, but the last 9 runnings of this race, 4 winners have come from barrier 7, so that can't hurt his chances anyway.
No, he's an interesting horse. First of all, I don't think he's got the talent to win it, but because of the weight, I think he's got too much weight. If it was a handicap, he'd probably get 54.5, and then you'd have to consider him. But this campaign, they've ridden him forward, and he's done well against good horses, but he's up against top-notch horses here, and he can't win if they ride him forward because he won't lead that mare, and he'll get a stitch coming to the bend if he tries to go with her. So he's going to have to sit back. Can he finish off with 59 kilos? I just doubt it, even though he has improved this time up. But those are the beautiful variables that make these sort of race, one that's well worth watching. I love the Doom 10,000, actually.
Yeah, it's a great race. And one we haven't really touched on properly is Ascadelia. She deserves a mention because I think she's the class runner in the field. The drop back, I don't know how the drop back from 16 to 14 or 13.50 is going to work. And we know she's being set for the Stratty in a couple of weeks. So is this a bit of a warm-up run for that? She's got a cop a kilo penalty if she wins this. So with bigger things in mind, you'd think they just want to see a nice run from Ascadelia.
I don't know whether a Group 1 should be considered a warm-up race, but saying all that, I don't know whether she cops a penalty. It's weight for age race, so she shouldn't get penalised. But
yeah, well, Kieran said during the week that she'd cop a kilo.
Yeah, well, I don't think the conditions for weight for age wins warrant penalties. But anyway, we'll see. The thing about her is driving back a distance shouldn't be a worry because she is, as you said, a class horse and she's very, very honest. My concern is that it's a small track and she's a big track horse and she needs a big track. She's going to have to go back from barrier 10. She should be last, probably coming to the bend. And if my theory is right, they go a little bit soft in the midsection of the race and she's just going to have to come home in 33 flat to win from where she'll be. And I just don't see that happening. But might be a different story in Australia, though. Might be a different story. Big track, run under a belt, better weight scale. Yeah. Anyway, but we're talking about the 10,000 and I think Speed will hold up and Two Blue will skip away and win.
Hey, Two Blue for you and Fell Swoop for me. Anything else on the card, Rick, that catches your eye?
Oh, there's a number of things. I think it's a wonderful card up there. I wish I could go. I love the fact that the nominal favourites for the Queensland Derby are clashing with each other. Howard Be Thy Name and McIntosh. And, of course, you've got the local hope still on the beach who just might be a superstar. I reckon that's going to be a fantastic race, that last race. So if I'm in front, which I will be because Two Blue will win, I'll probably be on Howard Be Thy Name. But my biggest bet of the day will most likely be Mighty Lucky in the race before the 10,000. I think it's the Lord Mayor's Cup. Oh, gee, I'm a weights and measures man. I've never been a times man, but I'm a weights and measures man. And this horse is just thrown in at the weights compared to some of the others and what he's been carrying. My only concern is how good is Chris Waller's Import Cool Company. But if he's only average, then Mighty Lucky is one of the bets of the day, I believe. I just think he's perfectly drawn. He's well in at the weights. He's in career best form and loves the trip. Wins for fun for mine.
Yeah, well, $5 chance in that market, Rick.
Yeah. If he gets out the 550, you're on for a hit. Yeah. To me, the other interesting aspect of the meeting is will Ghisoni, the real Ghisoni, turn up tomorrow or on Saturday? If she does, she looks a great chance of winning that Glenlogan Park Stakes, and then that will secure her a spot either in the Stradbroke or the Group 1 Tats Tiara later on. But we see the real Ghisoni on Saturday. Is she a star or is she just another useful Godolphin horse? got a feeling she might be a star, so she might get that despite the draw.
Well, she's $1.80, Rick, and has drawn barrier 10. So I think those odds are a bit short from that draw, especially when you got Amicus first up, and she can fly first up in that race. So a look on one for me.
Yeah, she won't fly early though. That's the thing. 10 might not be an issue for Gisoni if she does press forward, because you've got a lot of back markers in that race, and that should enable her to get right across. Unless Travis and Girl, who drawn her outside, so she's not going to cross Gisoni as long as their bum's pointed to the ground. So interesting race, but I don't think the 10 is going to be a worry for Gisoni in that she will cross. But I won't get on if she's $1.80. If she gets out to evens, I might have a lash, but outside of that. And Fine Mist in the first race, I think, is thrown in, absolutely thrown in.
All right, well, there's a few to consider for Saturday anyway. Doomben 10,000 covered. You'll be caring if yours comes in, Rick, especially, like I said, $26. Might even be a good each way value there, Rick. And like I said, fell swoop for me.
Yep.
So that's this week covered.
I said that. That's very good. I love it when we've got different chances, because it divides the viewers, and they can pick and choose based on their gut feelings and the rationales we put forward.
It's a tough race, and I think the good thing about tough races is if you can find the winner, you're getting value. So
yeah,
you want a bit of value.
Yeah, glad I got on early last week with Blackheart Bart, because that value was knocked off late in betting. Man, nationwide they went for him.
Oh yeah, that's right. Exactly. They smashed him. I think he started at 280, didn't he, Rick?
Yeah. You could get 4.
And while we're on that one, Rick, I mentioned to you earlier, just want to say big shout out to Philip Stokes. He's great trainer and a great bloke. Previously we'd asked him for a couple of tips for our viewers, and he gave us 2 that should win in the future. Both of them saluted. Saturday he gave me his best for the day, which was at 10-1, Runway Star, and I passed that on to our Racing Tips Australia members on Facebook, and it was good to see a few people load up and get a big collect.
Yeah, well, it won well too. I was on the second horse, private secretary.
Yeah, I know you were keen on that one, and I was too, until Philip said that she was just flying. So she was going off to stud straight after that race, but now Philip's had a chat to the owners and wants to push on and head up to Doomben for the Tats Tiara. So different ball game altogether, but for mares flying in form, you've got to roll the dice.
Yeah. On the score of shout-outs, I want to give my trainer, Cameron Crockett, a shout-out for Saturday at Randwick, rather. He trains my mare, and although she's not in, he's got his 2-year-old, which he loves. It might be his first Saturday winner coming up. So called Barbass in the first race, so I hope it can run well for him, and he believes it will.
Decent odds, Rick?
Look, he's a tough horse. He won that Scone English Challenge $100,000 race last start. I don't know whether this is a stronger field. It probably is, but he's a tough horse, and you can really reel off sectionals. Yeah, he'll be 7-8-1 for sure.
Okay, we'll have a crack myself.
Yeah.
Dusted, some food for thought, and hopefully everyone can find a winner and come out in front on Saturday. Yeah.
Well, that's what we want, everyone to be a winner, so that they write nice things on the Racing Base page and the website and the Facebook page, and we're all happy. That's what it's all about, trying to find happiness.
That's it. All right, until next time, we'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Good on you guys. All the best.